So this is our garden in Heath Road, Horsell. I'm actually filming on the 15th of April because the garden is really at its best at this time of year. You'll see that we have a beautiful camellia here, which was here in the grounds of the house next door when our modern bungalow was built. It's going over a little bit now, but it never fails to perform. I try and keep some colour in the garden with foliage because we do have very poor soil, so here's a choice here that always looks good even through the winter. The beds, as you can see, a little bit bare at the moment, the wisteria just coming into flower, but a main feature of this garden is the azaleas and a bit later on the rhododendrons, and of course the camellias that have really gone over a little bit now. Here's another bush, a nice bright splotch of colour, and some very pretty tulips, spiky tulips. Not quite sure how they got there, but they're giving of their best. A few garden ornaments, and we go on round to more azaleas and some bluebells. These are just really coming into their own here now. The hosta's beginning to show a little bit. Another one, red one, and a camellia that again is going over just a little, and in the background an acer in a pot which we've had for some time. So now moving to the other side of the garden, we have another camellia and another azalea. This one, rather bad light, was bought in 1975 but just gives a magnificent show every year. Another camellia here, beautiful pink flowers, big pink flowers, really looking its best at the moment. Absolutely beautiful. Now we move on round a few pots on the patio, move on to walk down the side of the house. Again, more azaleas here, not quite out yet. This is a more shady spot, but well on their way. Very attractive. Now we come down to some pots, some herbs, hostas just beginning to show. In the background there, Chinese anemones, they look beautiful later on. And these hostas are magnificent year after year. This little twisted hazel, pretty little thing, always has catkins showing very early. But the pièce de résistance of this garden is really, at this time of year, this beautiful wisteria. It's been growing on the house since 1975, and although it's cut back every year within an inch of its life, it always does give of its very best for us. Underplanted with some bluebells, all in full bloom at the moment, so looking very pretty. And we've got just a few bits and pieces here. We cut down a big bush here and are filling in the space temporarily to see what we want to plant there. Sadly, a bit further on, a vine. That doesn't seem to have been able to recover. I don't know quite what ailed it in the winter, but it's definitely dead now, so we'll have to think about what we want to do about that. Just a small greenhouse. We've been working on planting out our geraniums. We always manage to overwinter them, but they're not quite ready to go out really into the garden yet. There was quite a frost a couple of nights ago, so we're keeping them safe indoors for the moment. Moving on now to the back garden, another beautiful acer tree growing in the ground, tall pine tree, and here a really lovely little malus in full bloom now, and lovely small, not edible apples, but the birds keep feeding off them all through the winter. And you'll see in the background here a beehive. The bees have been very busy already a lot this year. They're always out and foraging for pollen. Unfortunately, they did swarm over Easter, and as per usual, it seems with our bees, they managed to find the highest point. So they swarmed right in the top of this huge fir tree here, and there was absolutely no hope of us being able to get them back. So we have a slightly depleted hive now, but they're very busy today, all buzzing around as usual. Constant noise. flying back and forth. So that's about all. The back garden ending up with our lovely Mellis.